We're doing
Right?
it. Okay. So I guess we're just going to get started. So, hey, everyone. Welcome to Going Goddess, the podcast where we empower, inspire, and elevate baddies on their journey to attaining their goddess awakening. I'm Cherry, and I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Silver Luna. Hey, guys.
We're obviously still working out our intro, so thanks for bearing with us. But really, guys, we are so excited to be here. And this podcast, we're going to really share a little bit about ourselves to start off, what led us to make this podcast, why we're so determined to empower you to become the goddess that we know you are and that you were always meant to be.
Yes, I'm so excited. We have been looking forward to this for so long. I'm excited to grow together.
Yes, grow together, glow together. Get in, bitch, we're going goddess. Like, I thought of that the other day and I just love it. So, cool. Well, before we get started, I want to know from you, Silver Luna, what is one thing that really inspired you this week?
Okay, so I've been thinking about something that inspired me, and I think it's going to be Billie Eilish, which is really unexpected for me. But I was watching a lot of YouTube videos the other day and like back to back of like strong women, and Katy Perry has this new album out that's like super amazing, but like Billie Eilish I think was the most inspirational because I was watching her Vogue interviews that she does every year on the same date in October, and she's been famous since she was like 14 or something. And every single year on the same day in October, she answers the same interview questions, and then they put it up into like a grid tile. And you watch the answers from the previous years, and she reflects on it and how she feels like if she accomplished the goal that she set out for herself at that time, or if she thinks that she was just being silly, she just kind of like gives commentary. And I was like, that's actually super inspiring, like of an idea. I really want to do that. And so I'm going to, I think, take the time in the next couple of weeks to write out questions that I feel are intentional and that pinpoint what I aspire to be and my goals, and are kind of reflectional at the same time, so that I can start doing that every year on the same day and compare my notes.
Oh my God, I love that. I want to do that too. Maybe we should like set up another little podcast, and definitely go over like what our questions are and like our answers are in a coming episode.
Yes, I'm down. That would be awesome. I'm so excited about it. What inspired you, Cherry?
Yeah. Man, it seems like there's been a lot of things, a lot of different people and situations were like running through my head as you were talking. And I think really I'm super inspired to make a vision board. We're coming up on 2025. I can't believe it. And I was listening to Do You Fucking Mind? I love that podcast. So amazing how Alexis just like totally, she's such a badass. Like she is goddess, badass, like live your best life, make no apologies for it. And so she had this podcast about making her vision board for 2025. And it's so fun. It's like such a good like way to be creative and to think about what you really want, and then to be able to like cut everything out and place it all together in a really cool collage and look at that throughout the year.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We should add that to our like annual questionnaire. That would be so fun. Make it its own little episode.
Yeah, I agree. And then like we'll post the pictures and stuff on our socials. So shout out to our socials. Be sure to follow us, Going Goddess with Cherry and Silver, or Going Goddess. What was the Instagram?
It's also Going Goddess. So also, if you have any suggestions, anybody that's listening on great intentional questions, that will be good year after year as we grow. Yes. We'd love to hear from you and get suggestions, because I am just starting. No idea yet what we're going to
do. We know it's going to be epic because we're really big on epic. So we'll just,
that's true. Yeah. And we are baddies.
And baddies, totally, on our goddess journey, glowing and growing together. And speaking of sending us in information, of course, look us up. We're on Facebook and Instagram, Going Goddess. And our email is goinggoddesswcherryandsilver@gmail. It's long, but if you think of Going Goddess with Cherry and Silver, Going Goddess W with Cherry and Silver at Gmail. Yes.
In my
Wait.
defense, goinggoddess@gmail was already taken. So if you send an email to just that, it's not going to be us.
Yes. But they might like your questions too. So, but cool. Okay. So usually we save that for the end, but I just needed to throw that out there. But I think it's time for the listeners to kind of get to know us a little bit, Silver.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, where do we want to get started? Who are we?
Yeah, I would love to know, who are you? Who the hell are you?
Awesome. Well, I'm Silver Luna. I am an Oklahoma native. I grew up in the Midwest my entire life. I just moved to the East Coast in the last 6 months or so. And it's been a very freeing and rewarding journey, even though it was a bit painful up and leaving. But I've been on a journey in the last, several years to find my highest self and to lift others up along the way, because I feel like there's a lot of people that want to drag women down just for the sake of them being women and for men being in power. So I've been trying to really reinforce my stance as a woman as I've grown and gotten older to remember to build others up, because I feel like for a long time I was such one of the boys and it was all for the sake of being too scared of owning who I was and growing into it. So I'm now in Florida and I am learning how to follow my dreams and be ambitious and make something of myself. I'm working on it.
Hell yes. Yes, I love that.
Yes, thank you. What about you, Cherry? I want to hear about you.
So, hi, I'm Cherry, and I grew up in Tennessee. I went to the College of Charleston in South Carolina, so really spent most of my life on the East Coast. I am a top 1% SAS BDR by day and life coach also by day, but also by night. Married to an absolute fucking badass. And I have 2 little baddies for stepdaughters that are on their own little goddess journeys. And it's been really fun to just kind of like shine my light in their life, and hopefully they pick up on some of the good stuff and learn from the mistakes that I've made. And hopefully y'all will too, because definitely going to share a lot of like the ups and downs and mistakes I've made and ways I've grown from them. I love dancing, comedy. I'm stoked because I'm going to my first improv class here in a couple of weeks, and that's like a goal that I've had for myself. So to be able to like say, yes, we're gonna knock that goal off the list and then kind of keep going from there. So super stoked on that. But really, I just love deep conversations. I love making shit really fun. Joy is like integral to my life. It's my lifeblood. And my life purpose is guiding others to consistently create and experience joy in their own way as their most authentic selves. And, I really do that by taking really good care of my energy and having a damn good time as much as possible. And hopefully, the way that I live and the things that I can share with others can help them live their most badass, joyous lives as well. So
I love it. That's so awesome and so inspirational. I'm excited to be doing this together because like we are an interesting duo considering the fact that we reversed places, first of all. Yeah. You moved to the Midwest from the East Coast. I moved to the East Coast from the Midwest. And, we have such different backgrounds. Like you have growing goddesses with you. I don't have any children. But it's such a fun learning journey because there's so much to learn off of each other. Yeah.
And like, I think back to when we met and just like, obviously there's something different about you. It's not just the hair and like all of the cool accessories and your style, which is amazing, but you just have this like glow to you and this energy that really sets you apart. And I just remember seeing you and being like, holy shit, I need to know that girl. Like, so cool. And now that like we're collabing on this project it's just blowing my mind. It's so cool. I'm so grateful.
I know. I'm so excited. I heard about you before I even met you too. And I thought the same thing. I was just like, oh my gosh, she sounds so fun. Like, I can't wait to meet them. And just whenever we did meet, like getting to dance together and hit it off so well. I love it.
Yes. I can't wait till we can dance together again.
Yes, me too. Oh my gosh.
Maybe I need to go to the beach.
Good.
I definitely need to go to the beach. It's not a maybe. That's a gotta get
That's
over there.
true. You do have a place to stay, just saying.
Soon. So soon. So, like, what led you to this podcast or like to this idea of this project?
So I actually do have a background in TV production and broadcast sound engineering. And so I have like some formal training, but growing up in the Midwest, there was not a lot of opportunity in terms of what I can do with content creation until the internet really got bigger. And also my my upbringing was very traditional and conservative, and very much like, stick around the family and have children young, grow into that lifestyle. And I decided I actually was engaged at one point whenever I was 21, and I broke it off with my soon to be fiance or husband. And I was like, you know what? I don't think that I actually want this life. So I changed my course of action, but along the way I had to make money. So I never actually pursued like TV production and sound engineering. So in the process over the last several years with my husband, Jesus, who has been a huge encouraging support system.
I love Jesus.
Yes, he's the best. He has really pushed me and encouraged me to find the hobbies that I never actually followed up on out of school and into those formative years. And so in the process, I've been learning, I've been getting back into like content creation and actually making small miniature episodes for myself and like TikTok, and starting my own podcast soon, starting this podcast with you. So that's what led me here. And now I want to keep creating, and I want to do it in a collaborative way. So this is a really good way to let out all of the lessons that I've learned along the way, because in those formative years, I've also not been the best version of myself. And I've learned a lot of lessons from not being that person. So I'm excited to share those lessons.
Yes. Okay. I just learned like so many things about you. I did not know that you had a background in broadcasting and stuff. That's so dope and very lucky for us. Very cool.
I love it. I wish I would have taken it more seriously at the time. I went to nationals in my TV production class. Like we went to a competition for, I can't remember what, National Technical Honor Society. And we went to nationals. That was super fun. And went to Kansas City for the first time, and we came in like last place, I think. But at least we made it to nationals.
Yeah, that's so dope. That's so cool. Good for you.
Thanks. Yeah. What led you here? What brought you on this journey?
Well, I've kind of always known that I wanted to do some sort of podcast. Probably because growing up, I got in trouble a lot for talking so much, like in class, like just real chatty Cathy over here. And I'm like, there are some people that just get to talk in a microphone and other people listen to it and no one tells them to shut up, or at least like not to their face. So I want to do that. But I've also always known that like I can see situations from different angles, and I love encouraging people, and I've always wanted to be a life coach or a counselor. And so how can I take the things that I've learned on my own goddess journey and like all of the healing that I've done and overcoming like hardships and all of that information, and then bring it to the masses so that hopefully other baddies can either learn from it or not make the same mistakes, or if they do, at least know that they're not alone in that. And I just like love having deep conversations, like so deep that like when you come back for air, like the whole world might look different. And to like be able to do this with you, like I know that we're going to get there, and like we're going to do that and dive hella deep and just become like these little goddess mermaids, and then go like to the depths of like what it means to really like be a woman and to like live the way that you want to and like be your most badass self. And I love that you said that your husband like really encouraged you to like pursue this and get back into some of those hobbies that you'd kind of given up. And I feel like I've been through this giant transformation over the last 3 years. And so to be able to like share me, like on the other side of that, is super exciting, and hopefully it will, resonate with our listeners.
I agree. I love it. And you know what? Actually, I was talking to Jesus about that in prep for this recording. And he was like, isn't that sad that you have to rely on a man to feel that importance? And I was like, you know what? That's not it. Let's take a step back. There's enough like animosity towards men. We need to remember that he was still like my support system. It's not that it's just another guy telling me that I did a great job. It's like my number one, my second half that is telling me like, this is what works. I think that you should continue pursuing that and doing that. You're good at that, as opposed to like just another guy giving me his approval.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to double click on that because we're goddesses and we're married to some badass men. We're not out here married to losers. And so like what my husband has to say, yeah, I take that to heart. He's a badass. Like he thinks of things in a way that I can't, and I value his input. Now, like at the end of the day, if there's something that I want to do, for myself and maybe we're misaligned there, like, yeah, it comes down to me. But totally, like, shout out to all the good men out there. We love you and keep it up.
I think that's a huge part of why I want to do this, this podcast is just to remind everybody that we are baddies. And as goddesses, it's on us to identify what is actual support, what's good 100%. For us, what's negative and what needs to be cut out. What's the noise?
Yeah.
The blank space.
Definitely.
That's what makes us baddies and differentiates us.
I agree. Yeah. Like having those boundaries, like knowing your standards, setting them high, like having that support. And something that just came to mind is like our husbands are like helping us dismantle the patriarchy. Like they're like holding the ladder and while we're like on our way up and like,
exactly.
Like find a partner like that, like man or woman, find a partner that will hold the ladder while you dismantle the patriarchy. I love that.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm just like, again, so stoked to do this with you. A, because you're hella hot. B, because you've got this like thing about you and you're so creative and bold and inspiring. And I think the way that we are going to share the lessons that we've been through and what we're going through currently is really going to resonate in a new way and hopefully give like some really fresh perspectives. And like, I believe that really any inner self-work or higher self-work that we do for ourselves affects the collective. And so like, as we're growing and glowing together, we're connected to other baddies that are growing and glowing. And we're all just like shifting the consciousness up together. So
I agree. And I do love having your optimism on board because sometimes it's so easy to get lost in the weeds, and it's going to be awesome having your perspective. I love that you deep dive, you know how to ask the right questions. So I'm really excited to see where we go with it. We have so much experience to share, and I really hope that it helps and people learn from it, others learn from it, and they share their experiences with us so that we can all learn together. I am going to be opening a Facebook group soon. That way everybody, all of the baddies can stay connected and we can all give each other hot tips and tricks and grow and glow together.
Yes. Yeah. I'm super excited about that. This is not just a podcast. This is like, we want to make this a community, and we want to like be able to share the glimmers that we've had throughout the week, like what we're inspired by, what we might need extra help or like support on. I want to celebrate the wins with you, and I want to be a shoulder for you when like you're going through something really hard. So definitely be on the lookout for our Goddess Collective. We really want you to be a part of it.
Yes,
Listener.
yes, same. Yes, I want to hear all the glimmers. All the glimmers. Those are my favorite parts of the day. Whenever you're just zoning out and all of a sudden a little glimmer comes to you and then it just turns around everything. Like, actually, hang on a second. I feel good about this. I call those my lessons from the universe. It guides me and lets me know that I'm going in the right direction.
I love that.
Kind of like deja vu, we call it, because it literally means seen again, right? In French, I believe.
Yes.
And so we kind of make fun of it that like we speak English in this household as a joke because Jesus speaks Spanish. And whenever we speak English and I say deja vu, he's like, that's not English. And so we call it seen again. But those scenigans are also what we would consider like a glimmer, because like it's almost as if we've been there before, and it lets me know that I've been in this position before, and it means that I'm on the right track. I'm following the universe's guidance and where I should be at this moment.
Totally. That is so special to have that, and like just to have that knowledge, because it makes like every day a little bit sparklier, because you just don't know when you're going to get one. And then when they come in, it's just like feels so good, and it's so personal, and you're right. It like can totally turn your day around. Mine are that I'm like really, not like focusing on, because that's not really the point, but since I guess like the end of November, I started writing down in my phone all of the angel numbers that I see throughout the day. And so I have like this whole list, and every day like 1111 or 444, like whatever like comes to me. And then at the end of the day, I'll like go and look it up. And I don't have like one book, and maybe like that's something to invest in. I don't know. But I'll just like get on Pinterest and be like, okay, I got like I saw 444 like 3 or 4 times today. Like, what is that angel meaning? And they're always like super positive and like stay on the right path, or like think about it in this way. And so like those are some other ways that I like to stay kind of like in tune with my glimmers or something.
Oh, that's so fun. I need to start looking them up whenever I see those, because I do see like angel numbers. I've just never actually like tried to identify them, but that's so fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And then I saw this woman on Instagram who was making playing cards, and it had the different angel numbers for each playing card, and then like a really cool little message. And so I was like, well, I've been like keeping track of all these angel numbers. I wonder which ones have shown up the most for me over the last like month and a half. And so then I was able to like pinpoint, it was like 888 and 444 were the 2 that like showed up the most. And so if I was going to like buy, an art print or something, I would buy one of those numbers, because it was like showing up. It was very cool. It's like an interesting way to take stock of how the angels are talking to you.
Yeah. The angel talked to me 18 times yesterday.
Totally. Some days I'm like, whoa, okay. Was I just like hella aligned, or like, I don't know. Was I searching this out? But it's fun. It's just like a fun way to like keep life sparkly,
Yeah. Our lucky number, our joint lucky number is 666 in this household. For some reason, it always lines up, and every time we see it, there's something good that happens. And my personal lucky number is 13, because my birthday is on the 13th. I've worked on the 13th floor twice. I've lived on the 13th floor. I've lived in an apartment number 13.
Whoa, that is crazy. And I love that your numbers are like, and it's so true to form, I think, for you and Jesus, that they're kind of like the anti-lucky numbers, like most people are like afraid of them or something.
Yeah, most like, no. Office buildings don't even have a 13th floor, and I've worked on 2 of them.
That's wild. That is wild. I love it. You're so like, I am so protected. Whatever juju y'all have going on with this 13 is not me. I've got all the good out of it. I love that. My lucky number is 16. It always has been. And I just love it. Like, I love it because it's like in my head kind of a square number, because 4 times 4 is 16, right? Yeah. I was like mathing. And then 8, and then like 8 on its side is infinity. And also like 16 was the most badass year. I'm not going to say the most badass year of my life, but maybe. Like, I could drive. I was wearing like only blue tie-dye. I don't know. I was captain of my volleyball team as a junior over some of the seniors. So that was like a really big deal. I got student athlete of the year. I found out that I got a scholarship to college. I had a boyfriend. Like, 16 was the shit. It was great. I don't want to go back, but I'm so glad that I have that. And then like, I would like, if I had to jump off the high dive or something, I would count to 16. And people were like, aren't you just counting to 10? I'm like, no, I have to count to 16, and then I can do hard things.
Well, if it's also your strength number, then that just makes it that much more lucky.
Totally.
Like, once I get to 16, I know I'm fine.
I'll be good. And they're like, you're just procrastinating. Like, no.
Well, do you?
Yeah, I want to know what everyone's lucky numbers are. So send us that in as well, in addition to your inspirations, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to hear what others' inspirations are. I'm really excited to take stock of like our ongoing goals and then recap a year later and see how far we've come. I can't wait to see how this podcast grows and how we grow, especially as goddesses on our journey with others. I'm so excited to see how others help shape us.
Me too.
It's going to be
And
so
hopefully
fun.
we'll have some like really great guests on the podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Other goddesses on their goddess journey, how they got there, their ups and downs, all of that. If you have someone that you'd love for us to interview, send that in as well.
Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite goddess, Cherry? Like, if you looked up to a single goddess as like your single source of inspiration, who do you look up to the most?
Ooh. Oh my God, that's so hard. Because I'm like, well, I spend time with my higher self every day. Like, we do some like quantum meditations, and I love that bitch so much.
I love it. I love it.
Like, yeah, I mean, and honestly, I do want to like start learning more about like mythical goddesses or like in legendary goddesses, whatever, because I couldn't like actually say at this point. But there's something that I just got a reminder that I need to send you this quiz, and it's about what goddess or like priestess are you, or like higher self. And so I like went through the whole quiz, and I'm a joy priestess. And so next time when I find it, I'll read like the description, because it resonates so hard, and I am so interested to know what yours is.
Yeah,
I'll
that is
include
so
the
fitting
link
for you.
in our Facebook page too.
Yes,
Thank
that would
you.
be awesome. Yes.
Yeah, and then everyone can do it. We can all know what kind of goddess, priestess, oracle, or angel we are. So,
Oh, yeah, that sounds so fun.
yeah,
I definitely want to check it out. So, ooh, and then we can reconvene on that next time we meet.
totally. What about you?
I think the goddess that I look up to the most at this point right now is probably Katy Perry, because I just feel like she is such an inspirational like woman. Between the time that I was in high school and she came out with I Kissed a Girl, and at that time I did not realize that that's kind of the equivalent of what I do now in the lifestyle. She says I kissed a girl and I liked it. I hope my boyfriend don't mind it. Like, they're still together. It's like lifestyle. And I had no idea at the time. And then, as I, grew up throughout my teens and early 20s, she continues to come out with like very beautiful pop songs. And then she goes on to American Idol, where that's a huge time suck, I would imagine, as a new mother and as a recording artist and everything else she's got going on in her career, to be able to manage all of that and then have a kid. And then come back now as this beautiful, inspiring woman that's singing songs about it's a woman's world. Yes, it's a woman's world. Thank you, Katie. I'm right there with you. I am on your brainwave right now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Such a great call out. She really is. I mean, she's everything. She's everything. She is. And then I'm like, so is Rihanna. And then like watching Beyonce on Christmas at the halftime, I got emotional. I'm like, she is a goddess. Like, she's not even human. She's perfect and badass. Like,
she just came from the skies.
Honestly. And like whatever she's dealing with in her home life and being able to get out there and like serve so hard. Oh, yes. I love her so much.
Oh, yeah,
she's a great one.
The whole set was so killer. It was amazing.
So good. Like, so cool. And like all the feathers and everything. And when the girls were walking and the four of them were singing and their voices were angelic, I just love it.
Yeah. I know there's so many inspiring women. I can name so many, but that's a really good handful. Like Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift.
Of course. I'm so proud of her. Like, like she just kept going, and like the world has been so hard on her in the past, and like to have this incredible 2024 is just it's so cool and so inspiring, and I love it.
I know. I feel like 2024 was a really good year for women and for strong women.
Yes. I think
Saw
so
so
too.
many good ones come out. Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan.
Yeah, I know. Chapel. We won't tell her you said that.
Yeah. We'll keep that to ourselves.
Right?
No, but like the final breakthroughs, that just skyrocketed them to stardom. Amazing. I'm really excited to see this trajectory.
Yes. And it's just like, girls, if you're out there working on a dream, these women are proof that you can make it happen, and like just keep going. And the number one factor in all of it is believing in yourself. Believing in yourself. You got this, baddie.
You just got to keep going, even when it seems hard, it seems overwhelming, like too much. You can do it just one step at a time.
Yeah, like us trying to figure out where are we going to record this podcast today. At one point, I was like, maybe we just try again another day.
I know. I was starting to think about maybe we didn't research as much as I thought.
I'm like, there are bitches out here podcasting. We can do this.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. But here we are. We're doing it. I'm so proud of us.
Me too. We are going to rock it.
Yes,
that's what we do. We're baddies.
We're baddies. Going and growing together. Get in, bitch. We're going goddess.
Ooh, and I was thinking about another fun quote, which is learning how to unlearn, which I feel like is a lot of what I'm doing along the way.
Yes.
Unlearning those bad behaviors.
Dude, okay. I have a whole thing about this, but very briefly, I'm into human design. I feel like I've shared this with you in the past, or have you gotten me your... Okay, I don't know. We'll talk about this, and then we are going to have to do a podcast on human design where we talk about it, because human design is basically just like your life blueprint, and there are so many behaviors that we all have that are really just conditioning from maybe the way we were brought up, or societal constructs, or others' expectations that we place on ourselves, and so then we act in a certain way that's actually a lot of times against what is really true for us, like deep down. And so learning about human design and just seeing this blueprint for how I best could, take it or leave it, guys, with anything, but this blueprint for how I could live my best life, from ways to eat, to ways to make decisions, to how I look for jobs, to how I relate to other people and when I need to rest. And so then once you know all of that, then is the process of deconditioning or unlearning, like you said, unlearning all of these things that people threw on us. If you want to be goddess, you have to do this, and you have to live like this, and you can only eat this. And it's like, no. Sorry, I'm in an unlearning process right now. So I am
Actually,
deconditioning.
we don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Yep. I think that's the hardest part out of the entire process, is unlearning those behaviors that have been conditioned for so long.
Totally.
Since childhood.
Because then it starts shifting a lot of things in your life, and
everything.
When things shift, then some things fall off and are no longer serving you. And so we definitely want to support you guys on that journey too, as things shift and you unlearn.
Absolutely.
And we'll share our journeys on
that's the entire goal.
Totally.
I'm excited for it.
Me too. So we mentioned earlier the Goddess Collective, but wanted to bring it back just to I guess drive it home. But really it's a place to connect with other baddies on their empowerment journeys. It's a safe space for us to share our glimmers throughout the week, motivate each other, inspire each other, maybe share stuff that we're working through or questions that we might have. So we definitely invite you guys to vote with your presence, show up as the goddess you are, no matter where you are on your journey. If you're a veteran goddess or, just getting started, everyone is welcome.
We are right there with you. And we are
Yes.
learning all along the way just as well. So we are
Oh,
no
yes.
professionals in being a goddess. We are learning too. This is our awakening along with yours.
Yes. Oh, it is. And it feels so good. And I'm so thrilled to be doing it with you, Silver.
Me too, Jerry. This is going to be a great time. We have such
Yes.
good episodes lined up too. I am so excited to talk about Friends Gone Rogue. We have some good information and some good, deep dives into some experiences that have happened to us with our friends that were very close to us that have gone rogue for one reason or another. And, it just goes to prove that everybody's in your life for a reason, whether it's long term, short term, or anything in between. I'm super excited to delve into that because there's just so much to discuss and ways to approach situations and how we can learn from each other how to better resolve conflict or an inability to communicate effectively. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Our Friends Gone Rogue episode is going to be episode number 3. So next episode, we're going to talk about what we define as a friend, what makes a good friend and characteristics of a good friend and how to behave and what not to do, our personal life experiences.
You need to behave like this, friend.
No, just
no.
do this. Yeah,
Totally.
Because I've done a lot of things as a jerk on accident and not realize it until later.
Same. Yeah, definitely going to share some tough stories about friends and people that I consider really, really close to me that I can feel like on a soul level. I call soulmates. So not, just my life partner, my husband, but there are people that come into my field that I consider soulmates. And so excited to share, who they are, what they are, how to be one for someone, or if you feel that, I guess soulmates are kind of decided by your soul. So you can't really just mold yourself into one, but how to be the best soulmate that you can be. Yeah. And why it's so important to have those people in your life, because I've definitely been at a place also where I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's just me. I don't need anyone. And that
Exactly.
surely is not the way to live. So
yeah, it's so important to learn how to identify what a soulmate is to you, how to recognize when somebody is good for you and when they're not good for you. Because then you don't want to end up in those situations where you're like, okay, I'm at a party, but I don't really know anyone or care.
Or I've been at the other side where I'm like, oh my God, I met 17 soulmates tonight.
Yes.
Every single, and it's bitch, no, how to be selective. And I like what you said there, how to recognize who is one for you and not just opening yourself up, to everyone on that level. But when people come into your field that you're like, oh, wow, this is someone different. This feels like they're bringing out the softness in me or the light in me or my best self, or I'm just really excited about life when I'm around them. Those sorts of things. Kind of how I feel about you, Silver.
Aw, same. That's exactly how I feel about you too. Yeah, that's a defining characteristic of a soulmate is what is that thing that sets you apart from someone else. And I feel like both of us have that with each other, which is
totally
very helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's whatever.
I love it.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, I echo the same sentiment. Join our Goddess Collective. We would love to hear from everybody. We have so much in store, and I can't wait to share everything with the world and learn and grow and hold on, let me back up. Learn how to glow and grow together.
Yes. Yes. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this journey. We're thrilled to be a part of yours. Remember to subscribe, share Going Goddess with all the baddies in your orbit. Feels kind of crazy to say that, but this is our first podcast, so it would really help us if you shared it. But until next time,
stay radiant,
stay empowered,
and keep going Goddess.
Going Goddess.